I had a conversation with my father earlier this evening. You know, a lot of really, really wise people that I happen to watch on YouTube and other places seem to think this coronavirus will get very serious. My dad, he's like, well, he doesn't care. And he's like, you know, you're not a part of it. And I'm like, wait a minute. You got a city in California that just filed a federal restraining order, and it was granted yesterday. And he's like, no, he didn't. I found it for him. It's like, well, just some nonsense he was telling me, just nonsense. And I'm like, dude, you're missing the point. What that means is this city in California is basically telling you that they know very well whatever the federal government's doing is not up to standard. And in their brief, it talks about how you know, whatever they're doing in the darkness, they need to like cheer what they're doing. So they're moving contaminated people, I guess, through the area or something. Then I'm like, dude, the state of Florida just said, not sign of him, they're not going to share how many people are sick with this contagion. I'm like, how does this not concern you? I'm like, there you go. You're not paying attention. You live in a state that's not going to tell you what's going on. And you're not taking preps. He has no respirators, no nothing. And he's like, what can you do about it? I'm like, I have masks. Like, I'm taking steps. Like, I can't. You know, I said something to him yesterday, and this explains it all. I told him that when it gets bad, the government is not going to tell us what we need to know about these developments. And maybe the only way we'll be able to really track it or get a red alert, a warning, will be if there's a lot of people getting admitted to the ER all at one time. You know, 100 people getting sick. That will be the, okay, you need to quarantine, whatever. And I realized right then that, like, that's where me and my dad are different. See, my father, he lives in Miami. You know, he lives around a bunch of criminals. You know, he lives with a woman that I don't know how she is now, but she's very controlling. And he basically accepted he's been broken. Not to say my dad ain't done no dirt to my stepmother. You know, that's between them. But he's been broken. She broke him. He lives in a crime-ridden area. So, you know, he's accepted the gangs and the violence. He's accepted the criminality. He's accepted people who do a piss-poor job on everything. He's accepted that. And so he doesn't care like that. Like, he's really, that's not BS. He's really telling me, I don't care. And I'm like, dude, this thing is mutated. Like, that was my worst fear. This thing is spreading asymptomatically. Like, how do you not? You know what I mean? And I just, this is why I tell you guys, I'm not fighting for black people. I'm not. All you hear black America talking about is Kobe dying in a fucking helicopter crash. I mean, I'm sorry for his family, but that's like, you don't get it. You don't see what's going on like that. I'm not fighting for that. And I learned that a long time ago as a socialist, but also as someone who recognized, see, listen, man, it sounds weird to be a socialist, but also to be a person concerned about preparedness. I can't say survivalist because I don't have a bunker, I don't have a machine gun, none of that stuff. Let's understand something. I'm with Chris Hedges. I don't think that socialism or electing Bernie Sanders or passing bills we want passed are going to be like the Wizard of Oz. That's not it, man. America is crumbling. I think the last chance we had of a Green New Deal or whatever was with Al Gore. I really do. That was our last chance. But I respect Bernie Sanders. You know, I love him. I think he's the only chance we have, hopefully, of salvaging something. I don't know what. I'm worried they're going to try to kill him, or he might have another heart attack. God, you know, knock on wood. I'm worried about that. I mean, he's an elderly man. You know, there's a lot lot of hate. I believe in energy too. There's a lot of negative energy out here about him. But I told my dad, you know what my dad is? My dad is the people, the old white people on the Titanic. Ship's sinking, everybody knows it, and and the band wants to play one last song, and they're like, you know what? I'm not going to Lifeboat. What? I'm not going to Lifeboat. That's my father. That's essentially him. That's him. That's him right there. Yep. That's him. Here you are. You know, you see, my thing is, this could cause a recession. That's, you know, right? It isn't just the disease itself. It's cause a recession. Even if you got cured tomorrow, you know, and then we know if you get sick. What got me is, if you get sick once, you get sick again, it could be worse the second time. And then a lot of these, all my dad knows, all he talks about is the FBI arrests some people. So what? And I was trying to tell me yesterday, I'm like, so what if they did? What that got to do with anything? So I mean, it's like that movie. Contagion. The Jude Law character was lying to people and giving a false cure, and the FBI locked him up. Like, we had to say we lock up your computer. Okay, that doesn't stop the disease. That didn't stop the disease in that movie, and that won't stop it here. Like that means nothing. You know, and that's really, that's black people. You know, they want to go out and be seen and this and that and the other. And I don't, I guess that's the difference between me being a socialist. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a conservative. Certainly not. But I recognize I'm living in a crumbling society. And that will take certain tools. That will take certain skills to deal with a society that's crumbling. We've been at war for 20 years, man. And so we're having unique challenges. I mentioned previously in other videos about how, to me, the Ebola was the harbinger of what's to come. What is that? Diseases that have no cure, and or diseases that hide in the recesses of the body. Ebola, that African, the black doctor that came over there to Texas, he was sick with his eyeball. Nobody knew it. Thank God it mutated, killed itself off. But that's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, this is not a normal disease. Same thing with this, what's it called? I don't understand anybody who is just like, well, I think like my dad, he actually said to me, has the federal government declared a state of emergency? No, they haven't. But I said to him, as a good response, I said, are you waiting for that? The state of Florida, I said, are you waiting for that? Here you have the state of Florida telling you that they're not going to give you numbers of testing on. Like, how does it not terrify you? I don't understand that. He's my father. I have to respect him. You know, he's not a well man, and he's one of my last real older family members to pass. So I have to respect him and I have to appreciate him. But I'm gonna tell you something. He told me that he's not fearing, he doesn't care, and that I must think I'm a part of it. That might have been the dumbest shit I've heard all week. That might have been one of the dumbest things I've heard all fucking week. I'm not a millionaire. And I told you the same thing earlier. Me preparing may not save me. I may die too. But I'm going to face my enemy. I will face my foe. I will die with honor. Face my foe with grace, and I will die with honor. And I can't understand or acknowledge anybody who is just going to watch. I mean, these are the great things of our time. We live in an empire. These are the great movements of our time. It's like the Bay of Pigs, JFK dying. I mean, these are big. Columbia. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm in South Carolina, and these roads are shit. So I'm sorry. It's going to keep doing that. Can't do anything about it. These roads are crap. All broken up, concrete and asphalt. It's like they don't know what they want the road to be. But yeah, you know, That may be one of the dumbest things I've heard all fucking week. That's why I am not fighting for black people. I'm not fighting for a bunch of people who care more about a basketball player dying than an open, acknowledged pandemic. Peace.